Now that we know that human impacts related to population growth is the primary issue in environmental science, how can we measure the average human's impact on the environment? One way to do this is through calculating a person's ecological footprint. An ecological footprint is the average amount of land, water, and ocean required to provide a person with all the resources they consume. For reference, there's about 11.4 billion hectares of productive land and water on Earth. That means that if every person alive today had an equal share of the productive land and water, they would each get around 1.8 hectares of it, which is equivalent to around one New York City block. However, the average ecological footprint per person is currently 2.7 hectares. What does this mean? It means that the human population, on average, requires nearly double the allotment of productive land and water that exists on the planet. Basically, the current human population needs, on average, 2 Earths of resources. How many Earths do we have? That's the reason why environmental science is so important. There needs to be a way to reduce the global ecological footprint, because at this rate, there are not enough resources to go around. I want to add this important point. While average ecological footprint is 2.7 hectares, there are certainly very wealthy individuals that have an extremely high footprint, and those who are impoverished that may have a very low ecological footprint. It's important to recognize that increasing the footprint of those impoverished by increasing their wealth is as important as reducing the footprints of those who are very wealthy. Another way of measuring environmental impact is using the IPAT model or IPAT model. Environmental impact I equals number of people, P, times affluence per person, A, times environmental effective technology, T. In general, as P increases, environmental impact also increases. The value of A is a little more complicated. Very high affluence increases environmental impact, but so does very low affluence. However, the mode of impact is vastly different. Wealth leads to overconsumption, and that increases environmental impact. Impoverished people struggle to put food on the table and keep a roof over their heads. Reducing their environmental impact, understandably, cannot be a top priority for them. Furthermore, impoverished and marginalized communities tend to bear the brunt of environmental impacts caused by overconsumption by wealthier nations and individuals. An equitable affluence where all people have sufficient wealth to provide for themselves while also reducing overconsumption can lead to a reduced environmental impact. The effect of technology, T, is also complex. Many new technologies, including solar panels, electric vehicles, have reduced overall environmental impact. However, the overconsumption of technology has led to an unprecedented increase in electronic waste, which is a big ecological problem. Also, the production of technology, including the mining for non-renewable resources and the fabrication of technology in factories, is disproportionately done in poor countries, leading to increased environmental impact in those areas, even though the products are typically shipped away to more affluent consumers in other countries.